Alright, so we are out here at the spot to do some test flights with the Starship X1, and I have about 2 hours before it starts raining again. Best Swiss summer weather, like it's middle of June and the weather is really bad. So I try to make the best use out of the time. About the setup, I will just quickly show it to you. So I will do 3 flights, and first I will do the flight without, as you can see, without the prop guards. Just like that, and you can also see the TPU parts that I designed and 3D printed. So we have a front bumper, we have motor skids, we have a rear bumper and an antenna mount. And I had quite some crashes in the past with this thing, some more brutal, some less brutal, and I can confirm like especially the front bumper holds up really well and protects the aluminum parts that are built into the frame. And the rear bumper too, and the antenna mount to protect the O3 antenna a little bit better. Yeah, and that's pretty much it. The batteries that I'm flying are the Tattoo R-Line 650 milliamperes. I really like them. They give a lot of punch. Flight times, I think, is about 4 minutes, but you're gonna see it yourself, like 3 to 4 minutes. And what I also like about those smaller 4S batteries, obviously they're really small, so you can carry quite a lot of them with you without, like, compared to 6S, like an Esco 5-inch or something. And yeah, they're also quite cheap. I think I paid about 20 bucks per piece. That's what I pay here. And yeah, that's it. Let's get started. Alright, I just wanted to quickly show you the quad when it's ready to fly with the battery mounted. I also threw on some new props so that we don't have any issues with that. Yeah, just like that. So you can also see that for today I fly quite conservative angle, so it's pretty much all the way down that you can do, but you can also push it up quite a bit. And yeah, flying it like that, it's pretty aggressive. So it's the first pack of the day, so I'm gonna keep it chill a bit, but yeah, you're gonna see anyway. So let's get this bird up in the air.
Telemetry recovered.
Let's keep it simple for the first flight. We also have a little bit of wind today. But as you can see, that thing has quite a punch. Let's do a punch out. So it's really nice to freestyle it. But you can also fly it pretty controlled. A little bit of prop wash over there. And so I would say for its size, you can feel the weight quite a bit. Like when you throw it around in turns and stuff. Yeah, it flings, if you know what I mean. But it's really agile. I think that's how it's pronounced. And I mean, about the sound, sadly I don't have sound because I'm only flying with the O3, but I will get it closer to here. Obviously it's quite a screaming because it's like with all small drones. As you can hear, let's do a punch out. But it's not too bad, honestly, and I mean, it's definitely way less intimidating than bigger drones, obviously also for the size. And it's just really a fun little drone to fly. Some power loops. Let's get in here. Yeah, about the tune that came pre-installed from YMZFPV, I think it's tuned really nicely. I mean, okay, as you can see, there was some prop wash. If you throw it around like that, sometimes, yeah, I mean, you have to know the limits of any drone, basically. And what can something I want to no. Something I want to say about the durability. So as you can see, this area I fly a lot. It's like my go-to spot. And as you can see, it's all concrete and metal. And so I also crashed here quite often with this drone. And honestly, like most crashes where you're not going full speed into the ground or to the wall, yeah, nothing broke. Like you just pick up the drone again and you can fly on. Maybe you break a prop or something, which is the usual. Only like one crash when I was trying, when I was practicing matty flips around here. And literally I crashed into the ground from about this height here, straight down. And yeah, that broke the frame. So although it's just a carbon composite and not like a real carbon, like the base frame, I think it's really durable. And now as you can see, we reach 3.3, 3.4 volts. Let's go back to landing. That was a shitty landing. But yeah, as you can see, we have like 3 minutes 40 flight time with the 850 milliampere pack, which is quite nice, I think. And yeah, I mean, although it's just the 4S, I think this drone packs a lot of punch for that, as you were able to see, like in the punch outs and everything. Yeah, I really love this little drone. And so far with my experiences, I will still use it to freestyle, but more like softer freestyle, right? Not like for practicing tricks. So like for new tricks that I want to try out, like the next thing up for me is trippy spin that I'm practicing on the simulator and that I really want to try in the real world. So for that, I'm planning to build a dedicated freestyle frame, which I will show you in another video. Just because with this drone, like, it's just so hard to get spare parts and everything. Like I waited 2 months to get spare parts for it, just because it's that slow and it's coming directly from China, from YMZFPV. I also texted them plenty of emails and had to ask, hey guys, did you ship? Where's the tracking number? So that was a bit annoying. Now I have, yeah, and combined with that, like if you keep in mind like slow shipping time for spare parts, and then you have one unibody frame, right? So like if you break an arm, and I mean, they're a bit quite thick, I will have to measure it again. So it feels durable and everything, and it can, again, can take some punches and all that. But yeah, I mean, it's not like bulletproof, right? And it's also quite annoying if you break just an arm that you have to replace the whole lower body frame, right? You have to take everything apart. And yeah, it's quite cumbersome. Oh shit, still on. Oops. Yeah. But yeah, that's just my thoughts about the drone, flying it for like 2-3 months now. And yeah, 2 months of it was just waiting for spare parts. Again, it's a really fun drone. I love the size, this tiny, and like combined the size and still having that much of a punch and this durable design of the drone. But now I'm gonna throw on the prop guards for the next frame so we can see how it performs like that. Just by the way, this like that without the prop guards, without the GoPro and all, this is my preferred setup to fly this drone. But I think it's really nice that you can just take off the prop guards by losing a couple screws, like taking it off, like 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah, 8 screws. You have to take off 8 screws and you can put on prop guards or take them off. And I think that's really nice. And as the manufacturer says, YMZFPV, you can throw on a naked GoPro or like any smaller action cam, maybe an DJI Action 2. Maybe it could carry that still. Honestly, I've never flown it before with the naked GoPro on top of it. It's gonna be the first time for me too. Really curious how it's gonna handle in the air. And yeah, with the prop guards, I mean, as we all know, right, then it's more of a cinewhoop, so like you cannot freestyle it as hard as without it. But yeah, let's have a look. Alright, so now we have the setup with the prop guards mounted as the manufacturer intended to use this drone. Literally took me like 5 minutes to put on the 4 screws per prop guard, and that's how it looks like. Same battery, which are actually 650 milliamperes 4S from Tattoo. Sorry for the mishaps. Yeah, so that's how the setup looks like that. So that's the setup for the second flight, with propguards, no GoPro, same battery, same camera angle, 650 milliamps battery. And let's see how this flies like that. Okay, I can already feel it gets a bit more affected by the wind. And it definitely feels calmer and heavier. Yeah, like let's see when I drop the throttle. Yeah, it drops quite a bit faster. I mean, it still picks up speed quite a lot, but obviously I will not freestyle it like I did before. And even that was like more calm freestyling, obviously. Careful around this hole. I lost the drone already last week in there. My Cinebo 30 just disappeared. Still flies quite nicely. But yeah, it also cuts down the flight time quite a bit. I mean, we cannot forget it's quite a heavy quad, right? With all that aluminum and the additional TPU parts and the prop guards and all that. Yeah, it's quite heavy. Because now we have like 2 minutes and we are already at 3.5 something. Yeah, if I punch out now, it drops quite down. So let's keep it a bit more civil. Do some gaps over here. And now, even with me having the camera angle almost all the way down, it's still quite aggressive. If you want to hit smaller gaps like this. Let's try this one. Ooh, yeah, the upsides of prop guards, right? Let's see, can I do this gap between the wall and the scissor lift? Ooh la la, yeah, nice. Alright, time to bring it in. This time a bit nicer landing. Nice. Alright, I felt the first raindrops, so I have to hurry up a bit. Yeah, that was the flight with the prop guards on. I do think it still flies very nicely. I mean, you have to think about for what do you use the prop guards, right? Like for cinematic flights, maybe around people, maybe around cars or something. And most often you don't have to like shred on the craziest levels in situations like that. So that's really something I like about this quad, that you can like take off or keep on prop guards in a matter of minutes, right? Just lose some screws. It's really easy to do that. You can take off the prop guards and yeah, you can adjust to the situation. And that's a design that I was looking for a long time, because I really loved my Cinebo 30 6S. But yeah, it's just that, right? Like it is a Cinewhoop, it always is a Cinewhoop, and this is something that I really like about this design, because when you take off the prop guards, it's almost, I mean, I don't have that drone, but basically it's the Eagle 1 that they sell too, from YMZFPV. And I think, like, when you look at the pictures, it looks completely the same, right? Besides that, you have the mounting points for the prop guards. But yeah, that's it for that. Next thing, I will keep on the prop guards and we will throw on the naked GoPro Hero 11. And yeah, I'm also really curious how this flies because it's going to be the first time for me. But let's see. Alright, a quick look at the setup with the GoPro Hero 11 on it, like the naked GoPro. Yeah, I mean the proportions do look a bit ridiculous, and I'm really curious how it flies. I mean the manufacturer says it can carry it, a naked GoPro, but I don't have the highest expectations. But yeah, let's see. Alright, let's go. Okay, yeah, it feels heavy as hell, but it does fly. Yeah, but you have to really be... I mean, I'm so used to flying it without anything, like no props and all, prop guards. Yeah, you have to really be careful with the weight dropping. Like when you get off the sticks, how fast it drops. And obviously I'm gonna be really careful now because I don't wanna risk my naked GoPro. As we all know, they are quite sensitive. And I mean, so as we see, right, like it can carry it, do a little punch out. And we still have punch, like if we need speed or getting higher up, like yeah, that's the wind that we feel, so that's also something. Like this setup, the application that I would use it for is like something like indoor flights, cinematic fly-throughs, stuff like that. Because that works really well. Let's see, let's do some soft and controlled turns around stuff. Yeah, but the camera angle is still too high, like still too aggressive. But yeah, for this it works really nice. And we have a bit of wind today, and now it also starts to slightly rain already, which is a bummer. And it mostly handles it well. Like we can see that there is some disturbance. And when you go soft on the sticks, you also get quite some flight time. I mean, you're already 2 minutes up there. Hello. Yeah. Ooh la la. Yeah, now it really starts to pour. I'm just gonna finish this flight because I haven't conformal coated this quad yet. Yeah, I don't want to risk it, so let's park it under the umbrella. Ouch. Alright, yeah, that was it with the GoPro. As you were able to see, let's just quickly change to somewhere covered. Yeah, amazing Swiss weather, right? It's the middle of summer, June, and this is what we get. It's unbelievable. Alright, so honestly, it managed much better with the GoPro than I was expecting. Like, we got over 3 minutes of flight time with cruising and like cinematic slow flying. And I think that's pretty good for such a small drone carrying such a huge sail on top of it. Yeah, pretty happy with the performance. So now I'm gonna sadly break down here, pack up again because it's already raining. Yeah, and it was literally, we had like 1.5 hours of nice weather. And I will give you my final thoughts back in the studio. Alright, so we're back in the studio, and I just wanted to give you quickly my final thoughts about the Starship X1. And yeah, let's start with the good stuff that I like about it, and then some of the drawbacks which you might consider if you want to buy it. So first of all, I really like how this thing flies. It's a lot of fun. Thanks to its small size, it's less intimidating than bigger drones like a 5-inch or even a 3-inch, 3.5-inch drone. And if you're looking for a super fun drone that is sub 250, then I think with HD like the 03 DJI unit, yeah, then I think it's one of the best choices out there at the moment. There is not a lot of frames in that size that still can carry an 03 and that are still fun. Like I also have the Pavo Pico, and it's just very, very different. The flight experience that you get out of that, right? Like the kind of things that you try to do with a Pavo Pico and something like this are completely different, right? Like with this, you can really do freestyle, you can rip it, as you saw in the videos. It's a lot of fun to fly. And yeah, still all below sub 250, and it can even carry a naked GoPro, something lightweight. So I think this is really impressive. And again, something that I really like about this design is that I can quickly switch between prop guards or no prop guards by just undoing a couple screws on the frame, and I can decide on the spot what is more fitting for the kind of flying that I want to do on that day. So these are all things that I really like. And then once again, I really like the design optically, like the aluminium parts and all that we have here. Is something I really enjoy on this drone. But then we can also go over to the drawbacks and the things that I don't like so much about this drone and about its design. So as you can see, after filming the outdoor tests, I did a couple freestyle runs, and yeah, I had a little accident, and once again one of the arms broke. This is the second time now since I have this drone, and this is really one of the big drawbacks, I think. The bottom plate is not true carbon, it's a carbon composite, and it's really not that durable compared to real carbon. Maybe the drone is a bit more sturdy if I would have had the prop guards on, so that on impact the prop guards take some of the energy away from the arms. But yeah, the arms are just too thin to take heavy impact. So I think if you to decide if you want to buy this drone or not, I think it really depends on what you want to do with it, what kind of flying. Again, you can do freestyle, but it's just not as impact resistant than a bigger 5-inch or 3.5-inch, because there is just not as much material on the drone than on the bigger drones. So it's obviously a bit more fragile and cannot take impacts that well. Yeah, and then another drawback, or like something that annoyed me when I received the drone the first time and I went out for my first flight. It landed, and when I checked it visually, I saw that like half of the screws were missing. And this is something I'm a bit disappointed with the producer, the YMZFPV. When I checked, none of the screws had Loctite on them. So I had to go and like first of all replace like half of the screws of the drone. Like even on the motor, like the motor screws were missing, and in the frame plenty of screws were missing. And then I had to I had to replace them and take out all the screws, put Loctite on so that they stay in place for the future. And yeah, honestly, for a bind and fly, especially in this price range, it's not a cheap drone, right? For what you get, like size wise. I would have expected a bit of a better quality control, or yeah, that they just put Loctite in there from the beginning on. Beside that, I'm happy with the rest of it, like with the materials, like the electronics that came with it, the all-in-one board that we have. It's a F722 all-in-one. It's the producer, like the manufacturer is JHE MCU. It's my first board of them, and we will see on the long term how it will hold up. But so far, yeah, with all the rest of it, I'm happy. And I think that sums it up about this drone, about my opinion on it. Would I buy it again? Yeah, definitely, because I like to have a fun drone, like again, something that can do freestyle, that has that has a nice flight time. As you saw, we get between 3 and 4 minutes easily, depending on the battery you choose, and something that can stay up in the air for quite some time and is a lot of fun and is sub 250. There is not a lot of choice out there, in my opinion, and so I would definitely buy it again, but I will not use it anymore as my main basher bando freestyle drone, because it's really just not built for that. So maybe more for something like for tricks or lines that you're confident with, where you like not crash horribly. I mean, as example, I'm at the moment I'm practicing the Matty flip to get better at that, and I'm so like when you mess it up and you hit the ground full speed backwards, that will will damage most drones, because there's just so much energy hitting it, and that's definitely something I'm not doing again with this drone. And more when if I fly this one again after I repaired it, I'm just gonna stick to stuff like tricks that I'm confident with, that I will land it, or that I can like save if something goes wrong and not crash full speed into something. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I have one thing that I wanted to mention about this drone. Again, like the delivery times for spare parts is horrible, in my opinion. I don't know if it's better if you are in a other location on this planet, but for Europe, it literally took me about like 2 months to get spare parts from YMZFPV. So this is a bit annoying because you can't fly, right? And it's a very specific frame and all that. So that's also something to keep in mind. If you place an order, maybe already grab the spare parts that you're gonna need. So you only have to wait once, and then later on just buy spare parts well ahead of time, so that you're always ready to repair it and get back into the air quickly. And yeah, that's pretty much it with my opinion on this drone. Really fun little thing. Let me know in the comments what you think about it. And as always, if you enjoyed the video, hit the subscribe button and the like button. And yeah, see you in the next one. Bye.